I embarked on my personal journey close to 40 years ago when I traveled to the West Coast to learn from Rex Carr. He taught me many things, and many of those things are things that I'm going to share with you. We are going to talk about line mechanics, and I use the word mechanics because line manners are a part of mechanics. But the mechanics are handler mechanics, dog mechanics, everything that goes on. So that's why we named this course Line Mechanics for Success. And yes, it does all happen in that 5-foot circle. It is all won and lost in that 5-foot circle. You know, the first part of changing habits and developing good habits is the awareness factor. A good friend of mine would say, it's not obvious to the oblivious. I want to make you aware, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the top challenges that you at home have shared with me. There are things like behavior in the holding blind, heeling and walking to line, line manners, for example, creeping, braking, noise problems, head swinging issues, bird watching, delivery mechanics, heeling, and bird delivery. Post-delivery creeping, that's a big one. We'll talk about that. The push-pull mechanics. I'll tell you, it's one of the biggest things I see my handlers struggle with. It seems like such a simple task, but requires so much practice and effort. We're going to talk about exiting the line and honoring. I'm going to get back to some other subjects. You know, I'm going to teach you how to develop high standards. And high standards does not necessarily mean high pressure. That's not where I'm going with that. You know, basics are simple, but they're not easy. If they were easy, everyone would do it. I'm going to talk about the value of the unseen hours. That's the time and the effort you put in when nobody's watching that leads to the success when everyone is watching. Over the course of the next several weeks, we're going to break line mechanics down into the most minute details. We're going to talk about getting from the truck to the holding blind to the line. Dr. Janelle Appel, is going to join us and show you how to do a proper warm-up in preparation to run. We're going to talk about what happens when you hit that mat right up until your first send. We're going to talk about what happens when you return with the Go Bird and you're getting ready to send for your memory marks. We're going to delve into handler mechanics. I'm going to help you remove your errors. Because one thing that Rex stressed to me, and I believe in it, is that they are only going to be as good as you are. We need to take your errors out of it. That's going to help us. That's going to help us win. We're going to talk about a bunch of drills you can do to isolate some of these behaviors and work on better mechanics. I'm going to help you develop a routine. We're going to talk about things like sending cadence. I'm going to teach you how to read your dog. I'm going to teach you how to influence your dog without false lining. I'm also going to talk about taking notes. I'm going to teach you how to do that. Because the value of measuring backwards, it gives you clear feedback. It tells you if you're making progress. That's what notes are going to do for you. I know you've heard me say this before. I've talked about one of my favorite books. It talks about Kobe Bryant and how he is a slave to basics. Millions, hundreds of reps develop muscle memory. That muscle memory will allow you to do the proper mechanics without even thinking about it. Because when good behavior and good mechanics and good habits for you and your dog become the norm, now we're getting somewhere.